It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional, and yeah, we staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. And shout out to the homie Lucky Wizard Deals, man. He keeping it lit, man. Hey, and shout out to the 32 gang, Wolfpack of Cool Kids, the Nike PRP, the big royalty mites and rats that's chewing on Rico's hair, man. We got a good video for y'all today. We gonna react to CJ's video, No Privacy, and we also going, speaking of the no privacy, we got information on the Juvenile who shot CJ So Cool. We got his court date hearing, and I'm gonna break it down to y'all as good as I can. We're gonna sit here and listen, and it's pretty stupid, man. It's pretty wild, like that they let juveniles who do this wild nonsense out like this and run around amok, and they still be messing up, okay? But anyway, before I get into that, I want to address some stuff, man. I made some videos about CJ So Cool. All jokes, right? And y'all come over here talking about I'm switching sides. Man, y'all shut up and laugh. That's what's wrong with some of y'all people, man. Like, damn. I can't even make up my own drama and be happy and funny. But y'all, this is why I don't. If you come in here talking about I'm D-riding, and then I'm blocking you, big dog. Because D-riding is no form of transportation over here, okay? See, all that wild stuff that y'all be saying, oh, you had to do, you gonna get blocked. Because ain't nothing going in my mouth, big dog. And I'm telling you what, man. Like, yeah, I don't even like addressing stupid stuff like this. But it's just like, dang, laugh. The video is supposed to be funny. Like, I didn't call the man out his name. And then right after that, I dropped a video talking about royalty. I told y'all it's the summer of royalty. I don't understand some of y'all. Some of y'all just looking for attention, and I'm going to give it to you. But actually, I'm not going to give it to you, because if I say something back to you and I dish your mama and your stupid bald-headed pictures, then you're going to be mad and you're going to try to report me. So I'm not going to respond back to y'all. I'm going to just block you. I don't got time for it. Like, if you want to come onto my video and you want to openly discuss this stuff and what you think I'm doing, I give you free reign to come on, show your face, because I will blow up your spot. Don't play with me. Like, just like I talk about royalty, I'll talk about you. So don't play with me. I'm telling y'all, y'all think shit's sweet over here, and it's not. It's not sweet over here. You know what I'm saying? Only thing sweet is this Chardonnay. Anyway, let's get into this video. Looks like he made this video when he was at his old place. You know what I'm saying? Look, shout out to D-Lo and his cameraman. And it looks like they in the background of the little where the people came from in the mountains. This was actually shot a month ago. It's kind of crazy he held this from us, because you know CJ be talking like a mug, and he could have gave this one away.
Hey, you think he'll get an autograph from time up?
Man, nigga, shut up and go.
I was just asking.
Man, nah.
A violent home attack, but a popular social media influencer is now recovering from being shot. Fox 5 spoke with the influencer.
Okay, this is what I'm about to say. I think he went back to his old place and shot this video because he has the blonde hair. If I'm not mistaken, does it look like he have the blonde hair? I mean, it's crazy to reenact this, man. I know he had to be going through a lot of emotions. I know a lot of people, y'all really don't understand, like, what it's like to be in a traumatic experience. But when you have to, if you want to reenact it for a video, bro, he probably cried. He probably was going through so much stuff. Well, at least he put some clothes on for the video. He said he was running around naked, like balls flapping. Man, get out of here, CJ. Yeah, I can't keep on doing this. But anyway, let's get to, I don't want to see him sleeping in the bed. The fight scene was pretty cool. Shout out to CJ So Cool, man. That was a good song, man. You opened up your heart and your soul and your mind and your body and your voice to all of us, and we appreciate it, man. So we appreciate the stuff that you give to us every day. You know, we gotta give you props when props is due, man, because you know you really put on for a lot of people and a lot of kids out here, and it's sad that this had to happen. You know what I mean? To some misguided kids. Now, if they would have just watched your video and took some goodness out of it, they probably wouldn't end up in this situation. So let's get into the juvenile. The juvenile's name is Sean Jackson. Okay? He's 16 years old, and he was one of the home invaders. And he actually got to go home on house arrest. Can you believe it? I remember CJ saying that one of the kids was home, but and you hear his lawyer in here defending him, saying he's a 16-year-old and he does this. No. He's being charged as an adult. I want y'all to understand. He's being charged as an adult. First, he was going to be charged as a juvenile. Now he's being charged as an adult. So expect this man to be in the county for a couple years, and then expect him to go to prison for at least 20. Okay, dude, let's hear this out.
All right, so Mr. Jackson, do you agree that you violated your house arrest agreement in the manner laid out in the report that your attorney went over with you? Okay, I find you are in violation of house arrest at this point, and I'll hear argument regarding what should happen further. Let's start with Mr. Ports.
Thank you, Your Honor. And just for the record, I do have...
Mr. Ports is the DA, and he's doing a fine job at this.
Officers Camp and Rodriguez from house arrest here in case the court has any question. The purpose of today's hearing is, is pursuant to the Johnstone case. In that case, the Supreme Court highlighted that any violation on house arrest, whether technical or substantive, is a violation subject to the statutory sanctions. And those sanctions are revocation of bail or an increase of bail for good cause shown. Now, I'd reiterate.
So they about to revoke his bail, which he was at home for, or they about to take his bail away and raise his bond. So he might have been on bond for maybe $50,000, probably because he was a minor, and then they're gonna raise it up to $250,000, I think.
As this court knows, Mr. Jackson was detained following his indictment with $250,000 bail. I know that the district court at the grand jury return issued that bail, knowing what Judge Sachs had done in the Justice Court previously. And the reason that the bail is so high is because Mr. Jackson participated in a armed home invasion with a group of other co-conspirators. Targeted an individual who was a prolific YouTube poster, broke into his house at 2 a.m., and coordinated substantively with other co-conspirators, including defendant Queen, who did not actually go in, but put them onto this man's location, where they should park to avoid detection, and then they disabled cameras in front of his house, waited until all the lights were out, and then broke into the home, during which time they kicked in his door, armed with guns and tactical flashlights, tried to rob him, and when he fought back, they shot him multiple times. So it's a violent home invasion. It was very deliberate, very targeted, and that's why his bail was so bad. I understood and understand this court's position that, listen, if there wasn't at that time additional information that this court could justify continuing to detain him at the $250,000, and your hands were tied, in a sense, to kind of release him back on the OR that Judge Sachs negotiated with him.
Damn, they let him out on OR bond. So they let him out for free. He had a $250,000 bond, and they let him out for free, and he messed that up.
And the state respectfully disagreed, but at this point in time, we now have this individual who's been given this gift of being reinstated in house arrest, violating multiple curfew violations, not staying in his residence, and what's more important to the state's mind, he's actually lying. He lies to these officers about it. He sends in a text saying that his bracelet is malfunctioning on one of the 3 dates that he left his home without permission. And it appears he went to a pool party on a Friday night or something like that. That was a lie.
Okay. See, this is what happens. Kids, you missing out on all the pool parties because you want to go and do home invasions. And when you get caught, you can't get it both ways. You either want to be a kid and enjoy your life and enjoy your freedom and don't go do home invasions, or you go to prison if you want to do stupid crimes and do stupid time. Like, this is crazy. He want to go to a pool party. He still want to be a kid. See, yeah, I get it.
I mean, look, you can argue that it's possible that these machines malfunction, but you've received the reports. There's data points. The officers are here, happy to explain it. The reception of that particular bracelet was at one of its highest levels. It's incredibly accurate, as accurate as your phone using GPS as you drive through the city, telling you when to turn and when you've arrived at your destination and you're 15 feet away. It's very clear he exited and left. He actually tested it a few times and then went out and stayed. And then started texting these false statements back saying my machine's tripping, I was asleep, and I just woke up with these messages. I'd also note that when he was taken in to come do a drug test and meet with the officers, he then came up with a news story in which he stated the reason he had to leave was because there was a fire in his apartment, or his apartment residence, and he was evacuated by fire marshals. This officer, Officer Camp, actually reached out to the fire department to verify there have been 0 calls from fire to that apartment unit in the month of April when he alleged this happened. And it's also just completely incompatible with his prior statement that his device was tripping or malfunctioning. So we have lies upon lies occurring here. And while he's there, he repeatedly reiterates to these officers that, listen, the judge is just going to let me out. Like, you don't need to detain me, the judge is going to release me. So he expects to be released. He expects that there is no repercussion. This violation, while it is technical, is still a violation that is subject to the sanctions that we've listed. Our position is his bail should be revoked or reinstated to the $250,000 amount with high-level monitoring and no contact as a condition. The only other thing I would add, Your Honor, is at the bail hearing, when he was placed back on house arrest, the court was inquiring whether there was new information that hadn't been presented to Judge Sachs, additional evidence tying Defendant Jackson to this violent home invasion where someone was almost killed. And there is now, I didn't have it at that time, but we have Instagram return records from his co-conspirator McDuffie that show him and the other 3 males just prior to the home invasion in Henderson where the victim was shot. They're at a Winco on Stephanie, and they are all dressed in identical clothing, including the defendant who has a distinctive set of blue sweatpants and colored shoes. I have pictures that the court would like to see.
Girl, drink some water.
With him, with his co-conspirators walking up to the victim's house prior to the home invasion and attempt murder, and then fleeing after the shooting takes place.
Are you looking to change your mood? Well, these are full-spectrum infused.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow, this is a great.
So there is evidence of him with his co-conspirators in the same clothing, just in minutes or within an hour before the home invasion in Henderson. They have guns, they're flashing gang signs, and then they go and commit this robbery again in the same clothing. So
and that lady finally got some water, coughing all in the camera and all on the video. So they got them square. They got them on the camera at the gas station. They posted on Instagram wearing the stuff that they was about to go do the home invasion. They was throwing gang signs, and then they went and committed this robbery. Man, they got the whole timeline, and it didn't help that they posted it. They would send text messages, and they dropped their phone. So everything that they could have done wrong, they did in this thing, in this whole little home invasion.
Additional evidence tying him to what is, to the state's mind, an offense that does not merit a house arrest release. So I think under the statute, there's good cause shown both for these house arrest violations and the additional evidence tying into these offenses that merit a bail setting of at least the $250,000 that was set at justice for.
Thank you, Mr. Ports. Turning to you, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you.
This is attorney.
I think the first thing is a question.
What? He got a public defender. See what I be telling y'all? Man, y'all go commit these crimes and they can't even afford a lawyer, big dog. Like when I committed my crimes, I had a lawyer, and that's why I was able to keep getting out and keep going on because they was trying to throw your boy under the bus. You know what I'm saying? And what could have been 12 years only ended up being 2. That's because I had a paid attorney. Y'all out here hustling and doing all this stuff, and y'all don't even put money back for a lawyer, man. Y'all need to get y'all life together. Y'all not no real criminals. Y'all some fakers, man.
What you need to remember is that Sean's a 16-year-old child. He's not an adult. He may be charged as an adult, but he's still a child.
He's a 16-year-old child. He's not an adult. He might be charged as an adult, but he's still a 16-year. No. He made some grown man decisions. It don't matter. Like when you decide to pick up a gun, when you decide to run in somebody's house, you are making a decision in the mind of an adult, not a child. Kids don't do that. Remember, back in the medieval times with Rome and stuff, kids was going to war at 15 and 16. You know what I'm saying? Now they made it a law in America where you go to war at 18. But they was sending them before then, prior to the laws being, you know, where you got, once you turn 18, you were eligible to go to war. Come on, man. Let's stop the cap, man. This dude knew what he was doing.
And has childish thoughts and actions. Before I forget, this hearing is about him whether or not he broke curfew and went outside of his residence past curfew. This is not about presenting additional evidence. If Mr. Ports wanted to present that, then he should have done it properly in a written motion to revoke bail with new evidence. That's not what we're here for today. That should not be any part of the court's decision today, is whether or not there is a video from Winco. This is all about the house arrest officers and whether or not
My big concern was the extremely short leash I had him on for house arrest.
I'm
His
sorry,
I put him on a very short leash. The idea of him being out and was very concerning to me.
Okay,
And the
well-
fact that he violated in this way and then lied is where I'm at.
Amen, Judge.
Um,
That's what I'm talking about.
he was out in his apartment complex, and like you said, Sean's a 16-year-old child. When you say be at home, and I'm sure these officers explained the conditions very clearly, but he thought at home, at the pool in my apartment complex, or outside. And I think there was some, misunderstanding on his part or whatever. It's not like he was 3 miles down the road at a 7-Eleven or 5 miles across town at another party. None of this is outside his actual apartment complex. And I think that when you look at, his age and inexperience, there is something to be said about that. He did break curfew.
I mean, who's supposed to have experience on house arrest? House arrest, that's what it means. Stay in your house. It don't matter if you're in an apartment, it don't matter if you're in a condo, it don't matter if you if you live in a grocery store. You better not go to aisle 3 if you live on aisle 9. Okay, that's what it is. Like, come on, bro.
He admits that. He does go to school, maybe not as regularly as anybody would like, but
he does go to school, not as regularly. Come, what are you? Who you trying to defend? Like you saying he's a child. He's this. He don't go to school. He's a screw up. He's a screw up. This guy does not deserve to be on the streets, big dog. I know you got to defend him, but you are doing a horrible job. The person you defending is an idiot. Okay.
He does go to school. I don't know if an actual urine analysis was done when he was brought in, but according to Sean, if it was negative. Is that correct, officer?
Yes.
Yes. So I mean, he's not out doing drugs. He's attempting to go to school, and he's not leaving the apartment complex. And the court is very well aware of the.
I'm so fat.
Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt.
Bruh, these commercials is killing me.
True classic is tight around the chest and shoulder.
Tortured history of Sean in and out of jail in this case because of 3 separate indictments, different bail hearings, and different things like that. So, I think if anybody ever deserved one shot at something, you know, because of his age, inexperience, and because of the tortured history of him in and out of jail. I think that this is the time where he gets one chance and understands that house means house and house does not mean apartment complex. And I'm sure we'd be having a way different conversation. Like I said, if he was on the strip doing drugs or something, then there's no excuse. But in your apartment complex, I think makes the difference here. And I understand that you put him on a very short leash. And again, if he was 20, 22, we'd have a different conversation. This is a 16-year-old child who finds himself in adult court.
He didn't find
does
himself.
not have the cognitive ability at his age. We can't hold him. I mean, you know, according to law, he can be tried
I hope this judge is not buying this bull crap. I hope she not buying it.
as an adult, but he is not an adult in any stretch of the imagination. There's countless studies that you're not fully developed mentally until 25. He's 16. I mean, we got to take that into consideration, and the fact that he was just in his apartment complex. And I'd ask that you give him one shot, and I've made it very clear to him that if by some grace you give him one chance, that you will never give him a second.
He's already had a second
I'm
chance.
not going to give him a second chance.
Exactly.
At this point, I am not going to reinstate house arrest. What I'm going to do is reset the bail at $150,000 with level 4 PCU. No contact with co-defendants, no contact with victims. We're going to see you for the writ of habeas corpus on next Wednesday.
Very good. Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Lock his ass up. Everyday people, man, let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. It's crazy, man. I understand, you know what I'm saying? If you may have stolen something, or if you was driving a car and you wrecked and hurt somebody and you not killed them, but if you just, if you just did some minor stuff, but you did a whole home invasion and shot this man, and you, as a 16-year-old, you was able to walk free. Come on, man. Stop the cap, man. Y'all playing games. Everyday people, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.